I'm sure that many of you are familiar with the story of St. Augustine, one of the greatest doctors of the Christian faith. He was a man of pride who lived his life according to his own devices, enjoying the pleasures that life had to offer, until one day he was struck by the grace of God. He said, "You called, you shouted, and you broke through my deafness. You flashed, you shone, and you dispelled my blindness. You breathed your fragrance on me, and I drew breath, and now I pant for you." The life of St. Augustine is a classic, one that all of us can relate to. We all have our pride, our vainglory. We all have things in our life that obstruct our view of God. But ultimately, we pray, and we invite the Lord to take hold of our hearts, and we wait for the grace of God to transform our lives. In many ways, we can relate to the colt or the donkey referred to in today's gospel, maybe more so than we can to the people. Jesus tells his disciples to go into the town and untie this colt upon which no one has ever sat. Bring it to him because he has need of it. If we reflect upon what is actually happening here, it's quite amazing. Here is this colt, this beast of burden, who's owned and possessed by someone who has bound him, tied him to a post, and no one has ever ridden upon him. But in trying to possess him, the owner of the colt loses possession of him to the Lord, who unties him and sets him free, in order that he himself might possess him and ride upon him. Sin tries to possess us by binding us. It tries to hold us bound. I'm a terrible sinner. God can't love me. I've done sinful things. I can't pray. I can't go to church. These are all familiar thoughts for us. Sin only places a heavier burden on the sinner and tries to enslave. But Christ sets free for him to possess. Just as Jesus ordered the colt to be untied so that he might use him, so too Jesus orders us to be untied and set free so that we might serve him. In contrast, God says to us, "I do love you. I want to set you free. Come to me, and I will take your burden upon myself." We can fight against the Lord's mercy, or we can accept it. We can give our chains to Christ, or we can carry them and remain tethered forever. The choice is ours. My brothers and sisters, this Lent, allow the Lord to untie your bonds, just as he untied the bonds of the colt, so that he could enlist the colt for his service. Set up a schedule to pray more regularly this Lent. Allow the Lord to slowly undo those knots with his love and grace. Go to the sacrament of confession. Allow Christ's mercy and grace to set free our hearts in order to truly experience his love, so that we might no longer be bound by the burden of sin. And try to do kind acts for those around us. The colt was set free so as to serve Christ. Once we are set free, we too become enlisted in the service of God and neighbor. I guarantee you, if you allow the Lord to undo the ropes and chains that bind you, this Lent will truly be a season of amazing grace.